Every mine has a different kind of circumstance as far as haulage distance, haulage amounts, the mining method, particle size. So, you look at Railveyor, you look at electric trucks, you look at conveyor belts, they all have their own kind of intrinsic places where they belong. The beauty for me always was that with Railveyor, it kind of fits in all of those little boxes, right? It's another tool in the toolbox. So is Railveyor good for every application? No. But it does have a lot of places where it does fit. I've been in the industry now for 48 years. I worked in lots of different places, done lots of different jobs. I've always been one of those people that looks for how can we do things better. When we started in the Railveyor project, I guess I instantly saw the opportunities to do things better. And so the people that were in charge of the designing of the 114, we called it at that time the Mine of the Future, and Railveyor, was the president of the company. And he wanted to pull a bunch of people together to work through basic designs that we would need as we developed this mine with Railveyor. We had a mandate, get 400 feet of development a week. Never seen that. We said, yeah, that's a great way to start. So I was chosen actually to lead that group. So we did a workshop. We just said, okay, well, if we're going to do this, we should do this. This is the method we would use to expand the system as we develop. These are the spacing of the crosscuts. We talked about everything, as far as infrastructure, labor, equipment. And so that's where I started. I worked in this workshop. After that, the workshop was done, and that group had carried that work forward, and they wanted to build the mine. So they came to me and they said, Mike, we want you to work at building the mine with us. At that time, I would have been the only person in Canada, myself and my cohort, Dan McIntyre, but we would have been the only guys that worked on the design, the building, and the operation of a Railveyor mine. So we had a contractor, we had the OEM, which was Railveyor, we had a Vale component. We had the opportunity to learn. So we designed for 400 feet a week, but we realized very quickly that we could see much more if we worked through the issues with it. Things like, how do we advance the electrical? How do we advance the hardware within a Railveyor? So those were all things that we learned as we went through this project. We achieved the 400 feet a week. One week we got over 500 feet a week, and we had one 12-hour period where we had no power in the mine. We were achieving rates that we would never achieve otherwise. The benefits, of course, of running a Railveyor, you run twin ramps. So you have a ventilation loop automatically. You've already established an escapeway. Once you get to the ore body, you're already ready to produce because you have an escapeway in place. You can eliminate infrastructure needs like ore passes. Elimination is the best way to reduce risk, right? So that's what we did. Well, in this design, we eliminated the people away from the equipment. The transportation system for material is completely independent from where men travel. So no big heavy trucks driving around with no visibility. No, it's a Railveyor. It drives autonomously in its own area. Because you have a twin ramp, all the haulage traffic is in an independent ramp, so the other ramp ends up being far more open for all of the other things you need to do in an underground mine. Move people, move material. Other pieces of equipment, trucks for instance, they can be autonomous, but they require large openings. Our mines are going deeper. They're mining lower grades. So the size opening in the mine needs to come down. So you have less to worry about geotechnical stuff. You design it, of course, for the ultimate length, but you don't have to build it to that parameter yet. You can build as you build the mine. It's just got a lot of flexibility built right in it. It's an autonomous operated muck handling machine. Ideally, if I was designing a mine from the get-go with Railveyor, I would start with the twin ramps. I have a ventilation loop, I have an escapeway, I have the materials handling system, and it's all growing as the mine is growing. Getting to the ore is the golden goose. You got to get to the ore. That's where the money is. That's where the revenue is. So you can do it much quicker. If you can develop there quicker, that's perfect. Once you're there, you're ready to produce, like I said. You already have an escapeway. You already have a materials handling system. just go, move forward. It was always rather evident to me that, this really takes us to the next level.